What if I told you that the reason you keep putting off that big goal isn't laziness at all? It's literally neurological cycle happening inside your brain. If you have ever planned doing something important like starting a creative project, hitting the gym, launching a side hustle, or even just tackling that overdue assignment, and then done absolutely nothing about it, you're not broken. There is a specific brain mechanism at play that's hijacking your motivation. And in this video, I am breaking down exactly how it works. The simple way to interrupt it so you can actually finally get into that action. I have studied this topic deeply while researching for my book on how CEOs' mind work in the Fortune 500 companies. And after diving into the research, I can tell you this that there's more practical and fascinating things that you will going to learn today. And that's about how mind works. Procrastination researcher Dr. Tim Pitchell has spent decades studying why we delay these things we keep promise to ourselves that we will do. And his big insight was procrastination isn't a time management problem. It's an emotion regulation problem. And that's what it means. So here's what that means. When you think about doing something important and even slightly difficult, your brain instantly generates a negative emotion. That's self-doubt, overwhelm, anxiety, or the fear that results won't be good enough. Your brain hates negative emotion. So it does what any smart survival system does. It escapes. You suddenly feel the urge to clean your room, scroll through the phone, reorganize your desk, or binge watch one more productivity video. And just like that, the dread disappears and you feel the rush of relief. That relief, it's a reward. And in psychology, behaviors that get rewarded gets repeated. So your brain learns, avoid the hard task and feel better right now. It's doing this automatically. This creates what researcher calls an avoidance loop. In this, first, a difficult task is getting associated with negative emotion. Second, you avoid it and feel a sense of short-term relief. And third, the loop repeats and gets stronger. Every time you go through it, you're physically strengthening your neural pathway for procrastination while weakening the just do it circuit in your brain. When you repeat it, you become it. So here's what actually happens in your brain. There are two systems that are fighting for the control of every single time what you face as a hard task. First is your amygdala, your brain's ancient alarm system. It's wired to detect threats. When a task feels overwhelming or scary, your amygdala treats it like a danger or scream. Do not do this. Run. This is unsafe. A psychology research published in 2018 found that the chronic procrastinators actually have larger amygdala and a weaker connection between amygdala and something called as the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex, DACC, the part of the brain that helps regulate the emotion and push you into action. In other words, the fear signal is louder and the let's get it done signal is weaker. Dr. Pichel calls this as amygdala hijack. Your emotional brain overrides your rational one and you flee the task. And here's why it gets worse. If you don't break it, every avoidance loop that you complete makes your procrastination circuit faster and more automatic, like the muscles that are getting stronger, while your discipline circuit gets weaker from the lack of use. But the good news is you can rewire this. Yes, Dr. Pitchell spent around 20 years studying this exact question. The answer is embarrassingly simple. You just have to start. Not finish, not do it perfectly. Just start for 5 to 10 minutes and don't worry about the outcome. That's it. Starting interrupts the avoidance loop before the relief reward kicks in. Now, here's exactly how it works. It's two simple steps backed by the research. Step one is catch and name it. The moment you notice yourself procrastinating, pause, name the emotion that you are feeling. Are you overwhelmed? Are you anxious? Afraid it won't be good enough? Just labeling that emotion is powerful. It flips you from your emotional brain back to your rational one and weakens the amygdala grip. Research on emotion regulation shows that naming what you're feeling reduces its intensity almost intensely. And step two is make the task stupidly small. Shrink the larger goal until it feels ridiculously small. Don't think writing the whole project. Think about just opening that document and writing for 5 to 10 minutes. Don't think about an hour-long workout. Just think of putting the shoes and stepping out. I love painting. And at times, I never used to paint canvases for several months thinking my hours will get occupied. Because starting up was difficult. Cleaning brushes, stretching canvases, and then the painting itself was taking several hours of time. And I used to trick my brain stating, okay, I'll just start for 5 minutes, even if it is just putting some colors in the background or just stretching the canvas. And I was actually able to create the discipline for completing the whole painting on time. Why does this work so well? Because the dread of starting is almost always worse than actually doing the task. Dr. Pichel proved this beautifully in the classic study, where he gave students pagers. This was pre-smartphone era and pinged them randomly throughout the week before the deadline. The students consistently avoided the stressful task and replaced them with easier, more fun activity. They justified it with I work better under pressure or I feel like doing it tomorrow. But when the deadline finally forced them to start, not a single one said that they were glad that they waited. Every single one wished that they had started earlier and admitted that the task wasn't nearly as bad as they imagined. You are not avoiding the task itself, you're avoiding how you think the task will make you feel. And your brain is wrong about almost everything every time. There are two sneaky disguises that your brain uses. Your brain doesn't like sitting around and doing nothing. That triggers guilt, another negative emotion. So it disguises avoidance as productivity. Yes, the disguise number one is perfectionism. Research consistently shows that people high in perfectionism, especially perfectionists concerning that the fear of making mistakes or not being good enough, are bigger procrastinators. A meta-analysis found that the fear of failure side of perfectionism strongly predicts procrastination, while the healthy high standards can actually help you get started. Perfectionism keeps you from even beginning, so you have never risked falling short. Disguise number two is productivity procrastination. This is the sneakiest one because you feel like busy. You are researching, planning, color coding notes, perfecting your resume for the fifth time, or watching videos on how to be more productive instead of actually doing the scary thing. Dr. Pichel calls this short-term mood repair. You swap the high-stake task for a safer, lower-risk activity that still gives you a sense of accomplishment without the real risk of judgment or failure. The actual important project hasn't yet moved an inch. Now, You know exactly what the avoidance loop looks like, why your brain does this, and how it gets stronger over time. And most importantly, how to break it into simple step, that is catch and name the emotion and then make the task stupidly small. The science is clear. Every time you start, even just for a few minutes, you are weakening the procrastination pathway and strengthening the action pathway. You are literally rewiring your brain. Right now, pick one thing that you have been putting off. Name the emotion that's stopping you. Shrink the task until it's tiny and just start for 5 to 10 minutes. Do it scared. It's okay. The dread almost always fades faster than you can expect. Pick just one shift from this video that feels like it can give you the biggest win this week. Try it and then notice what happens. If this resonates with you, drop in the comment below with one tiny task that you are committing to this today. Hit like if you are ready to interrupt your avoidance loop, and subscribe for more such practical neuroscience backed mindset shift. I'll see you in the next one. You've got this. Now get start.